We are your official Wildcat and LadyCat station, KSST 1230 AM Sulphur Springs. It's time for LadyCat Volleyball. Let's go to the high school gym where tonight's game is called by KSST Sports Director Don Julius. Don?
James Terry, thank you very much. Welcome everyone into the main gym on the campus of Sulphur Springs High School. And we've got LadyCats versus LadyCats tonight as the Rains LadyCats come in to play the Sulphur Springs LadyCats. That's probably the last time we'll refer to Rains as the LadyCats, because you can imagine the confusion if everybody was a LadyCat that was hitting the ball for both sides. So anyway, we'll avoid that kind of confusion here. A young Rains LadyCats team, as they have 5 freshmen on their roster. As a veteran coach that's been over in Rains for some time, Kim Talkington, and she has allowed us tonight to do a live stream of this game. So if you're hearing it and you want to see it, that is available. I think you can go to the KSST website, or you can check KSST out on YouTube. And in the game, we also expect to post it to YouTube, by the way, at its conclusion, the edited version that Doug will put together. So you won't have to sit through those long stretches while we're, as Bill Bradford used to say, taking care of business. The warm-up clock is over, and so we'll have to see if they're going to have any kind of beginning to this other than the players coming out and getting started. I think that's what we did a week ago against Wills Point. LadyCats are 16-9 on the season, and they lost their last match over in Edgewood. They had won a couple before then, but so that was their last action. A week ago they won against Wills Point here in the gym. I don't see anybody. Oh, David Carrillo has a microphone in his hand, so we will be doing something here, probably a national anthem. And other than that, I'm not sure. Here's David Carrillo, I think. As soon as he's ready. I would cue him, but he wouldn't know what I was doing. So just about ready to get this one underway here. And I'll warn the fans, if you're listening and in the stands, you're fixing to be besieged by volleyballs. The LadyCats will be chunking those up into the stands. And already the fans are ravenous. They're ready for that. Here's David.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the volleyball contest between the visiting Emory Rains LadyCats and your Sulphur Springs LadyCats. Before we introduce the lineup of both teams, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. the visiting Emory Reigns LadyCats. Number 1, Presley Macri. Number 2, Leo Cherry. Number 3, Story Smith. Number 4, Jasmine Mock. Number 5, Kristen McGinty. Number 6, Caitlin Brock. Number 7, Andy Trailer. Number 8, Emily Green. Number 10, Skylar McBrone. Number 11, Adrian Altman. Number 12, Harley Brett. The head coach of Emory Reigns LadyCats, Kim Talk. And now, introducing your Sulphur Springs LadyCats. Number 1, Shella Moyer. Number 2, Brooklyn Burnside. Number 3, Sadie Washburn. Number 4, Peyton Hammond. Number 6, Aaliyah Abrams. Number 7, Harris Higgins. Number 9, Kate Womack. Number 10, Erica the Big Dog Van Gendel. Number 11, Cindy Washburn. Number 13, Megan Malone. Head coach of the LadyCats, Lady Dorn.
That was David Carrillo with the announcements of both the teams here, and LadyCats threw a couple of things up in the stands. Oh, that's a T-shirt. It was all wrapped up. I couldn't tell if it was some kind of a stuffed animal or something, but those are T-shirts. And then also volleyballs, miniature volleyballs. So that was exciting. Fans got really into that, and a lot of them ended up with volleyballs and T-shirts. Right now the teams are gathering. The LadyCats to our left for a radio audience. And to the right, the Reigns LadyCats. Again, coached by Kim Talkington. Her assistants are Kaylee Jones, Marisha Harris, Brandy Dixon, Jacqueline Young, and Colton Joe Smith. Manager is Katie Vanderveer. LadyCats coached by Bailey Dorner. Assistants are Jared Hammock and David Carrillo, and also Shay Schaefer, freshman coach. And just about ready to get underway here. Have to get the liberos properly checked in. They cannot start for some reason, but they manage to. They sub in after the players have taken the floor. And a little bit of change here for the LadyCats. Leading off the serving here is Erica Van Bentham. And Erica's serve is a good one. Second shot by Reigns, and over it goes. Ball is sent up toward the net, and a kill by Sadie Washburn just hit the sideline. And the LadyCats lead 1-0. When I say LadyCats, it's going to be Sulphur Springs. And the serve by Van Bentham, a good one. There's the second hit by Reigns, and over it goes. Popped up by Malone. Moya pops it up, and Sadie Washburn had another kill as she hit that one. That was not one of her really killer kills, but it was in a good spot. LadyCats leading 2-0. And Van Bentham with another serve. Dug by Reigns. But I can't hardly see that. There's a dead spot for me. I'm trying to look through the official. 3-0 now. It was dug up toward the net, but nobody home. 3-0 Lady Cats lead, and here's Erica Van Bentham's serve. Hit by Raines, popped up near the net, and into the net it goes. And now 4-0. I'll tell you about the JV contest when we get a chance. Erica Van Bentham serve, dug by Raines, and over it goes. Lady Cats return it. And this is the third shot for Raines. It goes over and hit in the court. Just in the court to make it a 4-1 game. And I believe the one that hit that was Katie Traylor. Katie, one of those 5 freshmen I was talking about. And here's the serve for Raines. Hit by Moya. High in the air by Malone. And Katie Washburn with a strong kill. And she's already got 3 kills in the game. Lady Cats leading 5-1. She's been racking up about 20 a game right now every time they play. She's getting 20. Here's Kate Womack's serve. It's a good one. Popped back across the net. Popped up in the air, Malone. Moya pops it up. And Paris Pickett sent it over. Raines keeps it alive, and they'll return it. Popped up to the net. Sadie Washburn. What a beautiful dig. Their libero dug it off the floor, and Raines got it back. It's set up over to Sadie Washburn. She gets it across. Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Hit by Paris Pickett. Hammock sends it over to Sadie Washburn. Returned by Raines. Hit by Moya. Set up to the net and feathered over by Sadie Washburn. There's a return by Raines. Hit by a couple of Lady Cats and then over by Womack. And Raines will return it again. Popped up by Hammock. Moya high in the air, and Sadie Washburn missed the kill on that one. And it's a 5-2 score. And serving is Leo Terry, a junior, an outside hitter normally. Right now she's back to serve for Raines. They trail 5-2. Terry served. Moya pops it up, and nobody could get to it over near the scorer's table. And Raines trims the lead to 5-3. And Terry with another serve coming here. Serve is over, hit by Moya. Popped up, and Sadie Washburn feathers it over. Raines will set it up and hit it over. Pickett pops it up. Hammock pops it up, and Moya will send it over. Raines will set up the net. Dug by Womack. Hammock sends it over to Sadie Washburn, and her kill is good. That's 4 kills for Sadie Washburn, and the Lady Cats are leading 6-3. Boy, they are really funneling the ball to Sadie, and why not? And they've also got Brooklyn Burnside, who's turned into a good net player herself. Here's Sydney Washburn serve, hit back across, popped up Womack. Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn hit it off of Terry, and then it headed to the back line for a point for the Lady Cats. And they lead 7-3. And Sydney Washburn now serving for the Lady Cats. It's over and just long. Just too long, and that makes it a 7-4 contest. And the libero that I credited with a beautiful dig a while ago, this is Presley Macquarie. Her serve, hit by Womack and then Pickett and over by Hammock. Now up toward the net, and a 4-hit violation on Raines, and so score goes to 8-4. And I think I'd been calling Malone, and it should have been Peyton Hammock. I apologize for that. And here's a serve now for Sadie Washburn. Put it right into the net, and it's an 8-5 ball game. And now serving for Raines will be Jasmine Mott, a senior, at 5-5. Serve a good one, hit by Moya. Popped up Hammock toward Erica Van Bentham, and she nailed the back line. Erica has moved to the outside tonight. The change made by Bailey Dorner. Probably have Sydney Washburn playing more in the middle. Peyton Hammock now serving for the Lady Cats. Serve on the way. Ooh, that's across the back line and makes it a 9-6 ball game. And in to serve for Emory Raines. Can't hardly grab her number. I'll have to wait till she moves a little bit. Here's the serve. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Popped high in the air by Hammock. Returned by Brooklyn Burnside for a kill. Raines was able to make contact, but just couldn't do anything with it. Makes it 10-6, and Chilla Moya serving. It's over. There's the second hit by Raines. They set up the net, and over it goes. Dug by Hammock. Moya pops it up, and over by Sadie Washburn. Raines keeps it alive. There's a second hit, and over it goes. Hit by Moya and Van Bentham, but then it heads backwards. And Raines gets the point. They trail 10-7. And now in to serve is Katrin Hoffman. I would have probably called that Katrin. David Carrillo called her Katrin. So Hoffman serving. And into the net. And the Lady Cats are up 11-7. And Erica Van Bentham back to the top of the serving order. Erica's serve, a good one. Set up to the net and feathered over. Moya pops it up. Peyton Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn blasts away, but Raines returns it. Van Bentham pops it up. Hammock sets it up to Kate Womack. And it was set up by Raines toward the net, and nobody could get into that net to get it out of there. And the Lady Cats leading 12-7. Erica Van Bentham, another serve. And that one looked like one of my golf shots. It went, it hooked off to the left. And it's 12-8. And now serving, I believe this is Harley Crick. It's over. Second shot. And over by Sadie Washburn. And she nailed the end line, or the back line. Make it 13-8. And now serving is Kate Womack. And Kate serve, a good one. Popped high in the air. Second shot by Raines, and they return it. Hit by Paris Pickett. Popped up Hammock back to Pickett, and she returns it. Raines keeps it alive and returns it. But a violation on the Lady Cats. And Raines trims the lead now to 13-9. I know that's hard to follow when your team is the Lady Cats, but it's just, we always call ours the Lady Cats. We have this trouble when Paris comes to town. There's a long serve for Raines. There's a lot of Lady Cats out there. Leo Terry on the serve, and it's now 14-9. Hallsville was the Lady Cats, not in our gym. There's the second hit, and over it goes. Lady Cats keep it alive, and the third hit is over by Kate Womack. Dug toward the net, set up to the net, and over by Raines. Womack pops it up. Hammock gets it over, blasted by Sadie Washburn, but Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Hammock pops it up. Sydney Washburn pops it up, and Sadie Washburn with a kill that just hit the sideline. Boy, that was at an odd angle. That's hard to do, but she just got it in there with a kill for Sadie Washburn. Now Sydney Washburn serving. Gets it over. There's the second Raines hit, and over it goes, and the point scored by Emory Raines. Makes it 15-10. And now serving the libero, this is Presley Macari. Serve, a good one, hit by Pickett to Hammock and over by Sadie Washburn. Raines keeps it alive, and their third shot is over. Pickett pops it up. Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn, she blasts away. Raines kept it alive. Here's their third shot, and into the net. And it's 16-10. Lady Cats lead. We're in set one, and Sadie Washburn will be back to serve. Sadie, a junior, she'll be back next year. Played on the team last year as a sophomore. There's serve for Sadie. Ball up toward the net, popped up and over by Raines, and point. went off of Kate Womack that time, and it's 16-11. And checking in off the bench to serve for Emily Raines. It's either a 6 or an 8. I'm having a hard time reading that number from here. Here's the serve, hit by Kate Womack. Hammock pops it up, and Sadie Washburn returns it. Raines keeps it alive, sets up the net, and then hit it over. The Lady Cats could not return it. So Raines has chopped the lead down to 16-12 here. That would be a 6. So this is Caitlin Brock. So Brock with another serve. Hit by Moya. Popped up by Hammock and drilled over by Burnside, but returned by Raines. They hit it over. Burnside pops it up. Hammock sets it up to Erica Van Bentham. Raines keeps it alive, though, and gets it back across. Popped up Sadie Washburn. Set up Brooklyn Burnside with a big, strong finish and a perfect setup by Peyton Hammock. Had that ball right where Brooklyn wanted it to hammer it away and put it down on the floor real hard. 17-12, and Peyton Hammock now serving. And Peyton serve on the way, a good one. Raines sets up the net and gets it over. Dug by Hammock, hit by Van Bentham and over by Moya. A second Raines shot, and over it goes. Dug by Hammock, popped up by Abram, and then over by Moya. Ball set up to the net and punched over. The Lady Cats keep it alive, and Moya returns it. Raines will set up the net. Lady charging in, a dig, but they ruled a violation on the Lady Cats, and it's 17-13. And in to serve for Raines is Skylar Monroe. She is a senior, 5'4". Gets it over. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Hammock sets up the net to Brooklyn Burnside, and she got they got almost returned that on the third hit. I was just about to put that in the books. Now I can, but Raines just about pulled that off. 18-13 here in set one, and Chella Moya now serving. Gets it over. Dug by Raines, popped up and over. Moya got a piece of it, but it went into the scorer's table. So a good kill there by Raines to make it 18-14. These teams played in the Wills Point tournament, and it was 2-1. The Lady Cats won, but they were competitive sets. Here's the Raines serve, hit by Moya, and it was one of those balls that just crosses over the net, and Raines finished it off. Peyton Hammock tried to get it back over, but she didn't have much of a chance. It's 18-15 now, and a serve by Raines, a good one, hit by Moya. Set up Hammock to Erica Van Bentham. Raines keeps it alive. This will be their third hit, and over, but blocked out of bounds. That's a Raines point to make it 18-16. So Emory Raines, who's trailed this whole set since they got behind 4-0, and they're rallying back. Good serve. Second Lady Cats hit, and hit by Sydney Washburn. Raines keeps it alive, feathers it over, hit by Van Bentham, popped up by Hammock. Sadie Washburn slams away. Ball right up into the net. Sydney Washburn got up and dumped the ball back on Raines' side. The only question was whether she would get tangled up in that net, which she did not. And it's 19-16, and here's Erica Van Bentham. Served by Erica. Ooh, in the net. Didn't get a very good piece of that. I think her toss was off a little bit. 19-17. And serving now for Raines is Harley Craig, a 6-foot freshman, one of their tallest players. Gets it over, hit by Abram. Popped up Hammock to Abram, and she fires away all up into the ceiling. Raines kept it alive and will return it. Hit by Hammock. Moya will pop it up to Sadie Washburn. She hammers away. Raines keeps it alive. Set up to the netting. They get it over. Popped up Pickett. Hammock sets it up to Abram, who got it across. Second shot by Raines, and over it goes. Hit by Moya, but she couldn't get much on it. And nobody else could get it back over. Raines is within one now at 19-18. I think that's as close as they've been in this match. And here's the serve by Crick. It's hit by Abram, popped up by Hammett. Sadie Washburn with a kill, and the Lady Cats are up 20-18. Sadie hammering away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kills out of 20 points. Here's Abram's serve, and it's a good one. Oh, it starts heading to the back wall there. Libero Macari got a hand on it, but not much she could do with that. 21-18, and Aaliyah Abram serving. Aaliyah serve, a good one. Second shot by Raines, and over it goes. It was the tip by one of those, Sydney Washburn, and then went out of bounds. Not much you can do. You jump up and the ball gets a piece of you and goes out of bounds. 21-19, and I believe this is Leo Terry. Terry serve, hit by Moya, popped up by Hammock. Oh, blasted away by Sadie Washburn. Macari did a good job of protecting her face that time because that was coming right in there. 22-19, another serve by Sydney Washburn. Second shot by Raines and over by Macari. Pickett to Hammock and Sadie Washburn, another kill attempt, but the Raines kept it alive and returned it. Pickett pops it up. Hammock feathers it over, and that was good. It was deflected by Raines out of bounds. 23-19. Another serve, Sydney Washburn. No, tipped the top of the net, and Raines couldn't return it. Boy, that just hit that net. That's a home serve. 24-19. Sydney Washburn, another serve. That one tipped the net. Third shot by Raines returned, hit by Sydney Washburn. Over to Hammock, and Sadie Washburn fires away in a kill, and she's going to wrap it up with a set where she had about 9 kills at least. 25-19 is the final in set number 1. Sulphur Springs 1 and Raines 0. And the two teams will be exchanging sides. And the Lady Cats win the first set 25-19. So let's take a break here, and we'll come back with the start of set number 2 right after this break. And just getting ready to get started for set number 2. Lady Cats won the first one 25-19. Emory Raines will serve to get this one started, and Harley Crick will be serving for Raines. Dug out by Moya, popped up Hammock, and over by Sydney Washburn. Second hit by Raines, and over it goes, and that was a good finish there. And that's quite a leaper, that Leo Terry. She's a junior, only 5'5", but she's a pretty good finisher. Got a lot of pep in her jump. And Raines leads 1-0. There's another serve by Crick, hit by Sadie Washburn. And Sydney Washburn, now one of the little volleyballs found its way onto the court. I was afraid that was going to happen. That thing was bouncing perilously close. And somebody's small volleyball rights should be revoked. Or a ball on the floor. We'll have to play this one over. There's Crick's serve. It went off Moya, and she could not get any elevation on it. And Raines is out to a 2-0 lead. It was set 2 that they won in Wills Point. It was a close one, 29-27. There's Crick's serve, hit by Erica Van Bentham, popped up by Hammock and over by Van Bentham. Raines sets up the net, gets it over, dug by Moya, popped up Hammock. Sadie Washburn puts the kill on it, got over Erica Van Bentham, tried to shove it back down, but Raines returned it. And then Raines and Lady Cats couldn't get it back across, and Raines has jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Lady Cats in that set 1 were out 4-0. Crick with another serve, hit by Sadie Washburn and Van Bentham, and Moya gets it over. Hit by Terry, back to Terry, and she feathers it over, hit by Hammock. Moya pops it up to Erica Van Bentham. She feathered it over, but a beautiful dig by Crick and returned by Raines. set up to the net. Sydney Washburn looked like her jump was off a little bit. She ended up hitting it with the offhand and couldn't get much on it. 4-0 now, and Kreck with another serve. Hit by Moya, and Hammock up toward the net and over. Well, that was Hammock. Somebody else did that. And there's a return by Raines, and that one just missed on the sideline. A point for the Lady Cats makes it 4-1. And checking in to serve now is Paris Pickett. And Paris' serve, dug by Raines. Right up to the net, they got it across, hit by Moya. Hammock sets it up. Oh, Sydney Washburn hammered away. Return, though, kept it alive, and the third shot over by Raines, hit by Pickett. Popped up Hammock, and over by Sadie Washburn. Now Raines will set it up to Terry, and she got it. Oh, no, that was not Terry. I take that back. That was Story Smith, the freshman. And she'll get the kill on that to make it 5-1. And now serving is Leo Terry into the net. And Raines leads 5-2 with Kate Womack now serving for the Sulphur Springs Lady Cats. Kate's serve, a good one. Oh, Raines hit it, and a young lady that might have had a shot for it kind of turned her back on it. I think she thought somebody else was going to handle that. Lady Cats trail 5-3. Womack with another serve. Second shot by Raines, and over it goes, dug by Paris Pickett. Hammock will set it up to Sadie Washburn. Oh, she hammered away, but that ball right up into that net, and Raines could not get it back across. It's tough when you're fighting that net. And the Lady Cats are now back to within 5-4 with another serve. Kate Womack got it over. Dug by Raines, second shot. Oh, it was dug kind of sideways, and the second shot didn't get much altitude. So we're tied at 5. Kate Womack with another serve here. Got it over, but that's going to blast across the back line. And Raines leads 6-5, and their libero is now serving. This is Presley Macari, 5'4" senior. And Macari with a serve hit by Moya. Set up to the net. Oh, a slam by Sadie Washburn, and returned, though, by Raines nicely. Hammock sets up the net. Sadie tries again. I'm getting them mixed up. There's a Raines hit across the back line, and we're tied at 6. Never confused the two Washburns before. And now Sydney Washburn will now be serving. They even helped me last year. They wore their hair different. Boy, was I glad of that. There's a Sydney Washburn with a serve. It looked like this is over by Raines. I thought that hit the floor, but the officials say no. And hit back on Raines' side. They've got a chance to get it across again, and they do. Hit by Abram. Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn blasts away, but Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Hit by Paris Pickett. Hammock sets it up toward the net. Sadie Washburn hits it. Raines keeps it alive, and over it goes. Hit by Paris Pickett to Hammock, and Brooklyn Burnside hammers away, and a violation on Raines, and the Lady Cats are leading 7-6. A long time since Sydney Washburn served. She served a while ago, so she's still serving, but that was a highly contested point. In tennis, you call that a volley. I guess you do in volleyball, too. It is volleyball. There's an ace by Sydney Washburn, unable to return it by Raines. Makes it 8-6. Wonder if they call a volley in volleyball. Gee whiz, Don. Here's an 8-6 serve by Sydney Washburn. They set it up toward the net and blocked by the Lady Cats for the point. Good block by the Lady Cats. Makes it a 9-6 game. And Sydney Washburn has a little string going here. Another serve coming. Gets it across. Dug up toward the net and into the net, and not anything Raines could do. Kreck was really selling out to try to get to that ball, but could not, and it's 10-6. Sydney Washburn, another serve. Over. Oh, and I said over. It hit the top of the net, and went in the negative direction for the Lady Cats. That makes it 10-7. And back to serve for Raines now is Jasmine Mott. Mott with a serve, hit by Abram. Hammock sets it up. Brooklyn Burnside fires away with a kill. Brooklyn, she has improved so much. As far as a freshman last year, and as a sophomore, she is really developing her skills. I told her about it at a Garland tournament, and she was so thrilled she could barely speak to me. 11-7, and there's the serve by Sadie Washburn. Second shot, and a shot blocked by the Lady Cats, but right to Brooklyn Burnside, and she killed it, and it hit the line. Just barely hit the line. And now 12-7 the score. And Sadie Washburn will now serve. Sadie, a good serve, dug by Raines. They'll set up the net and feather it over with the left hand. The Lady Cats dig it all the way back across. Raines sets up the net. They punch it across. Abram hits it. Hammock hits it. Van Bentham returns it. And Raines now with a return. Dug by Abram. High in the air. Hammock and Erica Van Bentham hit it, and then a violation on the Lady Cats. And it's a 12-8 game. And now serving for Raines is Chrislyn McGinty. And McGinty's serve, hit by Abram. Set up Hammock to Burnside. Another big kill by Brooklyn Burnside, the sophomore. With that red hair that runs in the family. I've known a lot of Burnsides, and I think everyone I've known has had that red hair. 13-8, Peyton Hammock with a serve. Over it goes, hit a Raines, second shot over to Terry, and she rips a kill that just went past the back line. Close play on that back line. Makes it 14-8. And Peyton Hammock with another serve coming. She got it, popped high in the air by Raines. They'll set up the net and pushed over. Lady Cats pop it up. Hammock sets up Erica Van Bentham, who got it across. Set up for Raines, and they feather it across, and the Lady Cats can't get it back. That makes it 14-9. Now serving for Raines is Katrin Hoffman. Hoffman serve. Oh, went across the top of the net, went across. Erica Van Bentham a return, and that was a deflection point for the Lady Cats. It went out of bounds, but deflected. And the Lady Cats are leading 15-9, and Chella Moya is now serving for the Lady Cats. Gets it over. Punched up near the net and over. Popped up Womack. Hammock sets it up to Sydney Washburn, hit back on the Lady Cat side. They keep it alive, and Sadie Washburn gets it back across. Popped up by the Raines libero, and then over it goes, hit by Sadie Washburn. They'll set it up and push it over by Sydney Washburn. Sydney's pretty acrobatic around that net. Not only a very nice cross-country runner, but acrobatic volleyball player as well. 16-9, Chella Moya with a serve. There's Raines' second hit up near the net, and over it goes, hit by Sadie Washburn. It went right up into the ceiling very hard, and then came down at the feet of some of those bench players for the Lady Cats. So it's 16-10. And serving now, Crick gets it over. Oh! It went between a couple of Lady Cats, and they're talking right now how to figure out how to not do that again. The old I got it, you take it play. 16-11, Lady Cats lead, and Crick with another serve. Gets it over, hit by Moya. Oh, all the way back across. Raines rammed it across, but the Lady Cats kept it alive, returned it. This is the third Raines hit, and over it goes, and wide. It's 17-11. And checking in off the bench to serve is Paris Pickett. And Paris with a serve. Hit once and twice. And over it goes, but across the back line for Raines. 18-11. And Paris Pickett with another serve. Paris gets it over. Second Raines shot. They set up the net and get it over. Moya hit it. Hammock pops it up. And, Lady Cats were kind of circling it. And then I think there was some confusion on that I think players were afraid of running into each other or something. Anyway, nobody got it done. 18-12, and now here's the serve by Leo Terry. Hit by Paris Pickett, set up by Hammock. Sadie Washburn with a big kill. 19-12. Boy, Sadie loves this gym. I've seen her just rip that ball so hard. Seen her doing a lot on the road, but she really loves this gym. There's Kate Washburn with a serve. Kate Womack. There are two Washburns and one Womack. How about that? Let's make Kate Womack her serve a good one. As an ace, 20-12. Timeout for Emory Raines. Lady Cats won the first set. They're up in set 2, 20-12. Let's take a break. Back in a moment. Emory Raines still in their huddle over there, getting a lot of instruction from, I believe that is Kaylee Jones. And Coach Talkington is right there behind her too. So, but right now Kaylee, I should say. It sure looks like it could be. On these script writing on this Emory Raines roster, the T's and the L's give me a lot of trouble. Kaylee Jones would be the way I'd read that. Here's Kate Womack's serve. Lady Cats leading 20-12, and that was too long. Just too long. And it's 20-13. And now serving is Macquarie by Raines. Her serve hit by Abram. Popped up Hammock to Sydney Washburn. Raines keeps it alive. Here's their third shot, and over it goes, but it hit the sideline. Nice hit there by Kreck, Harley Kreck. And it's 20-14. And Macquarie with another serve. Gets it over. Hit by Paris Pickett. Set up Hammock. Feathered over by Washburn, Sydney. No, it was somebody else. It was Sadie. There's the return for the Lady Cats. Second shot, and over it goes Sydney Washburn. And Raines chasing, but they won't come up with that one as it headed to the back wall. 21-14. There was that Sadie moment because the official, I could not see through him. I thought it was Sydney and turned out to be Sadie. And serving now for the Lady Cats is Kylie Malone. Second shot by Raines, and they get it over. Popped up by Abram. Set up by Hammock to Sadie Washburn. Raines keeps it alive after the return. They'll return it. Hit by Abram. Paris Pickett pops it up and over by Hammock, but they did not like that hit. They called it a double hit. And that makes it 21-15. New Raines server now. And this is going to be Caitlin Brock. Brock serve. Oh, hit by Paris Pickett second, and they got it over. My goodness, that was improbable. Here's the second shot, and over by Raines, and a good kill there by Harley Kreck to make it 21-16. Lady Cats up by 5. And another serve coming up by Brock, a 5'4" freshman. A setter by trade. Over it goes. Hit by Abram. Hit by Sadie Washburn. It went sideways, and Sadie got a fist on it, and that's about all she could do. 21-17, time out taken by Bailey Dorner for the Lady Cats. They won the first. They're ahead in this one, 21-17. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Well, back to play. The Lady Cats leading in set 2, 21-17. They won the first one, 25-19. And Brock with Raines is now serving, gets it over. Hit by Paris Pickett all the way back. Raines kept it alive, returned it, popped up by Hammock. And Malone to Sadie Washburn hammers away, but Raines digs it out. But now a 2-hit violation on Raines. Makes it 22-17. And Sadie Washburn back to serve. Sadie gets it across. There's the second shot by Raines, and over it goes. What a beautiful kill. Boy, there's the future of Emory Raines volleyball right there in the person of Harley Kreck, a 6-foot freshman. Got that killing stuff down. 22-18, the serve by Raines, good. The Lady Cats return it. Second shot by Raines, and over it goes, hit by Sadie Washburn. All the way kind of in that net. The Lady Cats could not do anything with it, and Raines is making a rush at the last minute here, and they're down 22-19. Here's a serve by Raines, second shot, and Brooklyn Burnside put that one into the net trying to get it over. 22-20. Another timeout. Bailey Dorner wants to kind of stem the tide here. Lady Cats won the first set. They're still hanging on in set 2, 22-20. We'll take the break here and be back in a moment. And here's a serve by Raines, hit by Abram. Popped up Hammett and over by Van Bentham for the point for the Lady Cats. And they're up 23-20. Erica Van Bentham was out with an ankle injury earlier this year, but played matches lately. Here's a serve for Hammett. There's Raines getting it across, dug by Sadie Washburn. Popped up the Lady Cats to Erica Van Bentham, and she hammers it back across, and Raines could not return it. Ended up near their bench. And it's 24-20. And Peyton Hammett trying to serve it out here. And there's the hit across. Right up to the net, and did not dig that ball out there, as Caitlin Brock was sure trying. But the Lady Cats win set 2 by a score of 25-20. So it's Sulphur Springs 2 and Raines 0 as we get ready to go to set number 3, as the Lady Cats have won the first two, 25-19 and 25-20. So let's take a break here. The teams again have changed sides back to the way they were originally back in set 1. And they have done that, and we'll be back with the start of set 3 right after this break. Starting set number 3, Paris Pickett will be serving for the Lady Cats. See Isabel Reyna in the gym tonight, and she has beautiful pictures of all of the Lady Cats volleyball players that are now to our left here in the gym. You'll want to see those if you come to the gym. Good serve by Paris Pickett. They set it up, Raines does, and gets it back across, and a nice kill, and you know who. There was another nice kill there by Harley Kreck. And Raines is off to a 1-0 lead. They led 4-0 in set 2, but Lady Cats caught them and passed them. So Raines trying to prolong this match here. There's Kreck's serve, and that one went into the net. We're tied at 1. And Kate Womack now back to serve. He's been the first serving option. Coach Dorner kind of changing some things up on the serve tonight. Womack got it across, and Raines did, and got a nice kill. I'm going to guess there's a lot of congratulations going on for Story Smith. I'm going to guess that was her. And Raines leads 2-1. And Leo Terry now serving. Gets it across. Pickett to Hammett. Oh, Sadie Washburn blasted away, but Raines with a good dig, and they returned it. And they hit it into no man's land, and the Lady Cats couldn't get it back. Raines leads 3-1. And Leo Terry, a junior, 5'5", another serve coming. Gets it across, hit by Pickett. Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn hammered it. But what a beautiful dig by Macquarie. And they return it, and the Lady Cats can't dig it off the floor. Raines leads 4-1 in set 3. And Terry with another serve coming. For Raines, gets it over, hit by Pickett. Hammock pops it up to Sydney Washburn. She hammers away. It went off of a Raines player and a kill by Sydney Washburn. LadyCats trail 4-2, and Sydney now back to serve. Gets it over, but sent it wide. So Raines is up 5-2. And Macquarie, who made that beautiful dig off the floor a while ago, now serving. That's one reason you're a libero, to do that. Here's Macquarie's serve, hit by Pickett. Hammock sets it up. Sadie Washburn blasted it away and got the kill. And the LadyCats have reduced the lead to 5-3. There's the serve by Sadie. Set up to the net, and over it goes. Dug by Sadie Washburn. And over it goes by Peyton Hammock, but Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Dug by Sadie Washburn. Up to the net. Brooklyn Burnside fires away, but the LadyCats keep it alive. Raines had a moment that the LadyCats had earlier, where a couple of different players started to go after it, and then they both deferred. LadyCats are back to within 5-4. Let's serve Sadie Washburn. Second hit by Raines, and over it goes. Dug by Abram. Hammock pops it up. Erica Van Bentham. Oh, she fired away and got a kill. And we're tied at 5. Sherry Looney is right down in front of me. She's taken some still pictures that hopefully will be on our website with this story later. There's a serve by Sadie Washburn. Over it goes by Raines. That little sneaky, instead of set up, the setter dumps the ball back on the other side. Sometimes you'll get called for lifting the ball, but they did not. Raines leads 6-5, and here's their serve. Hit by Moya, and it went kind of to the side, and Peyton Hammock could not do anything with it, couldn't get to it. So it's 7-5, Raines leads. Serve coming up by Jasmine Mott, right into the net, unfortunately for her. And Raines leads 7-6, and Peyton Hammock now serving for the LadyCats. Set 3, and the LadyCats are up 2-0 in the home gym. Served by Peyton Hammock. There's a second shot, and over it goes. Again, the libero with a beautiful play. Erica Van Bentham feathers it over. Returned by Raines. Sadie Washburn to Hammock. Gets it over to Kate Womack. Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Hit by Hammock high in the air. Moya pops it high in the air. Erica Van Bentham feathers it over. Raines returns it, and the LadyCats cannot get to it. And Raines is up 8-6. And a Raines serve coming up by Chrislyn McGinty. Gets it over. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Popped up in the air. Brooklyn Burnside, her shot blocked. The LadyCats got it back. And then Raines returned it, and Leo Terry's shot hit right on the back line. Raines is making some inspired plays here in set 3 as they lead 9-6. They lost the first 2, but they were competitive. And McGinty with another serve. Hit by Moya. Popped up Hammock to Kate Womack, and it hit the back line. And it was close to a deflection of some sort, but that wasn't called. It was it hit the back line. It made it 9-7. And in to serve now is Brooklyn Burnside. So Brooklyn with a jump serve, gets it over. The second Raines hit, and over it goes. Popped up Womack. Hammock pops it up to Erica Van Bentham, who fires away, but Raines keeps it alive. And Crack hits it, but dug by Burnside over to Hammock. And Sadie Washburn really hit it hard, but it went about 5 feet over the back line. Raines with a 10-7 lead. And now serving is Katrin Hoffman. Hit by Moya. Hammock pops it up. Van Bentham, she feathered it, and it hit the net and went the wrong way. Raines leads 11-7. Hoffman with another senior for Raines, 5'8", gets it over. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Hammock pops it up, and Sydney Washburn, a miss hit by Sid, and hit into the net. 12-7. And Hoffman with another serve. And Hoffman serve, a good one, hit by Moya. Hammock sets it up to Erica Van Bentham, hammers away, but Raines keeps it alive. Get it over to Terry, but hit high by Moya. And then a violation on Raines, a point for the Lady Cats. So they're now back to within 4 at 12-8. And Paris Pickett. And Paris Pickett with a serve for the Lady Cats. Gets it over. And the second shot by Raines, and over it goes. Lady Cats, they managed to get it back across, but it went wide. The fact that they did that was pretty amazing. The hits that required to get that done. 13-8 by Raines. Their serve is another one of those where players look at each other and let it fall between them. Been that kind of a set for them. They've had a tough time, and timeout taken by Bailey Dorner after that. As Raines leads 14-8 here in set 3, the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs won the first 2 sets. And let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. Raines still in the huddle. They've got another 18 seconds here. Can take every second of it if they want to. They do not. They're going to reset the clock. But Raines will be serving here. They lead 14-8, and Harley Crack will be serving. And gets it over. Hit by Paris Pickett. Popped up by Sadie Washburn and over by Moya. Terry pops it up. Crack sends it back to Terry, who shot his block, but Raines kept it alive. They'll reset and got a kill over there out of Story Smith. She's a pretty good leaper for her program height of 5'6". And Raines is leading 15-8 here in set 3. Served by Crack, dug by Paris Pickett, hit by Sadie Washburn and over by Sydney Washburn. Hit that one with a fist. Up to the net, and Lady Cats keep it alive. Get it over to Sadie Washburn, and she blistered that sideline and just got it in there with a hard kill. Lady Cats still down by 6, though, 15-9, and Kate Womack is back to serve. We've seen her put a pretty good string together, and that's what they need right now. Serve by Womack is good. Second shot by Raines, and the third shot ends up in the net. Point for the Lady Cats. And Raines with a 15-10 lead. Another serve coming from Womack. Kate's serve on the way, good. Second shot Raines, and over it goes. Moya hit it, but went sideways, and she had to dig it out of the floor, so got to cut her a little bit of slack on that. Raines leads 16-10, and Terry is back to serve. The 5'5" junior. Awfully good-looking volleyball player. Gets it over, dug by Moya. Hit by Hammock and then over by Sadie Washburn. Raines' third shot is over. Hit by Hammock. Moya pops it up to Sadie Washburn. She hammers away and went off of a Raines player and up into the stands. And the Lady Cats are back to within 5 at 16-11 with Sydney Washburn now ready to serve. Sydney gets it across. Oh, that was a beautiful serve. The Raines will... Oh, I thought they would return it. They had their third shot, but it ended up in the net. And the Lady Cats trail by 4, 16-12. Another serve coming, Sydney Washburn. Sydney's serve on the way. Here's the second Raines hit up toward the net. It's over. Dug by Sydney. Sent over to Sadie Washburn. She hammers away, and Raines, can they get it back across? No, they had the third chance. They had a couple of players kind of with athletic-looking moves to try to get it across and just could not accomplish that. And the Lady Cats back to within 16-13. Sydney Washburn, another serve, gets it over. There's the second Raines hit, and over it goes. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Popped up Hammock towards Sadie Washburn, and she hit it into the net. Well, even your finest finisher will sometimes hit it into the net. It's written somewhere. 17-13, and here's McAree's serve. Hit by Abram, set up to Sadie Washburn. She hammered away. Raines kept it alive, and they get it back across. Hit by Abram. High in the air, Hammock to Sadie Washburn. But again, Raines kept it alive. And they get it over. Hit by Abram. And Hammock had that sneaky little play to dump it on the side, but Raines kept it alive. Hit by Abram. And Hammock and over by Sadie Washburn. Third shot by Raines, they get it over. Hit by Pickett, and Hammock, and Burnside fires it back across. Kept alive by Raines, they feather it over. Hammock hits it, popped up Moya. And once again the Lady Cats let it fall between. That sent assistant coach Jared Hammock roaring off the bench. 18-13, Raines with a serve. Here's McAree. And Moya was going to let it go, and then she twisted into the ball. Boy, whatever could go wrong has gone wrong for the Lady Cats in this third set. As Raines leads 19-13 in set 3, the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs won set 1 and 2. Let's take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment. Presley McElree, the libero for Raines, is now serving, gets it over, dug by Abram. Hammock pops it over to Burnside, who fires away, and Raines hit it a couple of times but could not return it. So the Lady Cats back to within 5 now, 14-19. And Sadie Washburn is back to serve. Gets it over, a good one. Second shot, Raines, they can get it back across, they do. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Popped up by Hammock, back to Sadie, and she tried a deep kill, which is probably one of the most difficult plays in volleyball. You try to hit it real hard when you're back, and that one did not work, and the odds are against you, I think. 20-14, Raines leads in set 3, and here's a serve by Raines, hit by Moya, and Hammock over to Burnside, who hits away, but Raines keeps it alive and returns it. Dug by Abram, but all the way back across. Oh, look out below when that happens. And Kreck finished it off. 21 for Raines and 14 for the Lady Cats, as they have just, what is the vernacular? They've shot themselves in the foot. As a hunter, that is no more embarrassing moment. Here's 21-14 serve. It's hit by Abram, popped up by Hammock, and over by Erica Van Bentham. Set up to the net, Emory Raines. Oh, they hit it into the net. Raines 21, the Lady Cats 15, and Peyton Hammock now serving. Hammock with the jump serve, gets it over. Set up to the net by Raines. Oh, what a beautiful finish. You talk about putting it in the wheelhouse. Even a freshman can finish that baby. That was Harley Kreck with a big finish. 22-15, Raines leads, and in to serve now is Skylar Monroe, a senior, 5'4". Monroe's serve is hit by Moya. Hammock sends it over to Erica Van Bentham. Oh, she hit it in the net. I'm telling you, this is a complete team effort here for mistakes for the Lady Cats. They've just not had a good set. They've struggled. Here's a serve by Monroe. It got across the net. Of course it did this set. The Lady Cats return it, but Raines keeps it alive and gets it back across and hit it off the Lady Cat net players, and then it settled into the court. And Raines is within 1 point of finishing off this debacle for the Lady Cats. 24-15, and another serve coming for Skylar Monroe. It just missed long. That would have been fitting if it would have hit the back line. It's been that kind of set for the Lady Cats. They're down 8, 24-16, with Brooklyn Burnside now serving for the Lady Cats. Burnside got it across, and Raines returned it. Burnside pops it up. Hammock will set up by Erica Van Bentham. Oh, a nice kill by Erica. No, it's been tough on these Lady Cats here in set 3. They're down by 7. Burnside with another serve. And Brooklyn with a serve coming up. Got it across. Oh, but it went wide. So Raines will win set 3, 25-17. So Sulphur Springs 2 and Raines 1. And we get ready now for set number 4 with the LadyCats of Sulphur Springs leading 2-1. They won the first one 25-19, the second 25-20, and Raines won that one 17-25 or 25-17. So set 4 coming up. Again, they will change sides, and we'll come back with the start of set 4 right after this break. There'll be a reset on that clock at 1:19, so left a lot of time there that coaches could have had, but they're ready to play. And it'll be set 4, and looks like Crick will be back to serve for Raines. And again, LadyCats leading 2-1 in sets, but Raines in the what have you done for me lately category, 1 set 3. There's Crick serve, hit by Moya and Hammock, and then over by Sadie Washburn. There's a second Raines hit, and over it goes. Nice dig, Sadie Washburn. It's set up to the net. Sydney Washburn punched it over. Raines kept it alive. They get it over to Crick, who fires away. Kate Womack punched it over with a fist, and it was inside the line. Nicely done by Kate Womack. And the LadyCats leading 1-0. Second Womack to play, Sarah Womack played. I was asking Mrs. Womack if there was another one on the way, and she said, a boy's coming. And a good serve by the LadyCats, and they're up 2-0. So I'm not sure what his sport is. He may not be sure. I think he's in the 7th or 8th grade, she said. I can't remember which one. But those young ladies have certainly been impressive players, both of them, Sarah and Kate. Here's a return by Raines of the LadyCat serve, and then dumped over Peyton Hammock, but Raines keeps it alive. They'll set up Terry on the net. Her hit, but dug by Hammock to Moya, and Paris Pickett will send it over. Raines will set up the net to Terry, blasted across. It went off of somebody, went off the LadyCats and out of bounds, so a deflection and a point for Raines. And the LadyCats lead chopped to 2-1. And back to serve now is Leo Terry. Terry with a serve, hit by Moya. Popped up towards Sadie Washburn. She hits it off net players, and Raines can't get it back. Boy, they sure tried, though. And that's what the football coaches, when they start talking about how hard the teams played when they lost, there's something to that. Here's Kate Womack's serve. There's the second shot, and into the net for Raines. And the LadyCats are now up 4-1. And Kate Womack with another serve coming. This is set 4. Kate Womack serve. And popped up toward the net, and over it goes. Womack will dig. Peyton Hammock over to Sadie Washburn. She hit it off of Raines net players, and it went out of bounds. Point for the LadyCats, and they lead 5-1. Another serve coming, Kate Washburn. I did it again. Kate Womack. My goodness, got Washburn's on the brain. Got 2 on the team. There's Kate Womack serve. And over, tried to get it over by Raines. But just sometimes that ball refuses. LadyCats out to they've jumped out strong here in set 4, 6-1. And Kate Womack with another serve. Gets it, it's into the net. This team has an Achilles heel that's really giving up a lot of points on their own service. Bad serves. And I know they're working on it. There's a good serve by Raines. LadyCats' third shot is over Sadie Washburn. Here's the third Raines shot. It's over. Hit by Womack. Set up. And nobody was there. And I couldn't tell nobody was there because that official, as we say, has been drinking muddy water. Can't see through him. 6-3 now, and Raines getting ready to serve. The LadyCats want to make a substitute. And the official down on the floor is into the scorer's table to check some stuff over there. And now we're all ready to go. Here's the serve by McAree, dug by Moya. Popped up in the air and feathered over by Sadie Washburn. They barely got it over. Abram hammered it, but Raines returns it. There's the second Lady Cat shot, and over by Sadie Washburn. Raines' second shot over to Crack, and she gets it over and put it in a perfect spot. Just kind of a dead spot in that Lady Cat's defense. And Raines is back to within 6-4 after trailing 6-1. McAree with the serve. It sails across the back line, just missed. Close serve. And the Lady Cats leading 7-4 with Aaliyah Abram ready to serve for the Lady Cats. Gets it over. Second shot by Raines, and over it goes. Oh, a beauty. And Raines chops the lead to 7-5. And the player checking in off the bench to serve. And this is going to be Caitlin Brock. There's Brock's hit, dug by Abram. Hammock sets it up. Oh, boy, Sadie Washburn looked like she was 5 feet over the net that time. 8-5. And Sadie Washburn with a serve coming up. Sadie with a serve. They let it go and just wide. That was so close that I think McAree was kind of looking at the officials. Which way are you going to call that? They called it out. And it's an 8-6 ball game. Here's the Raines serve. Lady Cats are leading. There's their second hit over to Erica Van Bentham. And there's a deflection call there. And a point for the Lady Cats. The official up in the Eagles' nest in the Eyrie. He would fit right in that Eagle capital of the world, Raines County. I always call that the Eyrie, the Eagle's Nest. Here's Peyton Hammock's serve, the Lady Cats leading 9-6, but he called that deflection. And a good finish there by Leo Terry. Make it 9-7, hit it off Lady Cats players and out of bounds. And now serving for Raines is Katherine Hoffman, dug by Leah Abram. Second shot, Lady Cats, and over by Erica Van Bentham. And Raines sets up the net and gets it over high in the air. Hammock, Sadie Washburn over to Erica Van Bentham. She hammers across. And Raines, they were battling all kinds of things there. It was almost in the stands, and there was that official over there, all kinds of things. Points for the Lady Cats make it 10-7. Brooklyn Burnside now serving for the Lady Cats. Gets it over. And, Raines got one hit on it, and then nobody else could get to it. Lady Cats leading 11-7. And Brooklyn Burnside to serve. And Brooklyn hammers it across. Second shot by Raines to Crack. Good dig by Sadie Washburn, over by Erica Van Bentham. They set up the net and feather it over. Lady Cats, they got 3 fists on it, but could not get any elevation, couldn't get it off the ground much. Raines trails 11-8, and Crack is back to serve. Into the net on the serve. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs up 12-8, and checking in off the bench to serve is Paris Pickett. Remember her as probably a Dixie softball player when she was knee-high to a grasshopper, as we like to say. And her serve, unfortunately, that one went into the net. 12-9, and Leo Terry now serving for Raines. Gets it over, dug by Pickett. Set up Hammock to Sadie Washburn. Oh, she charged that net. Got a lot of momentum and hammered it down to the floor for a kill. And the Lady Cats are leading 13-9. They're trying to wrap this up 3-1. And Kate Womack is back to serve. And a good serve. There's Raines' second shot, and over it goes, hit by Pickett. Hammock sets it over to Sadie Washburn, who got it over. Raines kept it alive. They'll set up McGinty, who got it over. But in a violation on the Lady Cats on a hit. And Raines has trimmed the lead now to 13-10 here in set 4. And Sulphur Springs leads 2-1. Macquarie with a serve for Raines. Moya let it go, and they say it hit the back line. Raines within 13-11. Another serve coming, the libero Macquarie. Gets it over. Hit by Pickett. Over by Hammock. Raines sets up the Crack, who hammers away. Hit by Pickett. High in the air, Moya. Sadie Washburn hit it, but it ended up in the net. And Raines has fought back to 13-12. They were down 13-9. Macquarie with another serve. Chance to tie it up. Gets it over. Hit by Womack. Hammock sets it up. Oh, a blister once again. Liftoff for Sadie Washburn, well above the net as she hammered it down for a kill. Make it 14-12. And Aaliyah Abram now serving for the Lady Cats. Aaliyah's serve, a good one. Raines will get it over. The Lady Cats keep it alive. Womack returns it, but it went wide. She tried to hit kind of across the court, and it went wide. 14-13. And serving now for Raines is going to be Jasmine Mott, one of the seniors. And she gets it across. Hit by Paris Pickett. Oh, it went backwards, and Lady Cats couldn't do anything with that. And we are tied. 14-14. The Lady Cats have had big leads, at least 5 points. Maybe more. Another serve coming, Mott. One of only 3 seniors on this Raines team. But her serve, this one went wide. That would be my slice, reminded me of. I've talked about my hook. And my slice works real good too. Lady Cats leading 15-14. And here's Sadie Washburn with a serve into the net. We're tied at 15. And checking in for Raines to serve now is going to be Skylar Monroe. Another one of those. There's 3 seniors. She's one of them. That's 4 seniors, excuse me. I shorted them one. He got it back across. The Lady Cats return it. So does Raines, and now the Lady Cats get it back across. Monroe sends it up near the net. Up to Crack. Good finish, but Sadie Washburn. Oh, my! The Lady Cats almost pulled one off there. That was looked like Sydney Washburn over there returned it, but there was a violation on the hit for the Lady Cats. And Raines leads 16-15. They serve, and Sadie Washburn tried to finish. Raines returns it. Womack pops it up. Hammock sets it up. Brooklyn Burnside. Raines are going to get this one back. They got the third one over. Hit by Womack. Hammock sets it up. Feathered over by Burnside. And Raines kept it alive, and they returned it. Oh, and they got it so low over the net that the Lady Cats couldn't dig it out. And Raines is now up by 2, 17-15. And another serve for Raines. Second shot for the Lady Cats, and Sadie Washburn gets it over. Raines returns it, hit by Womack. Hammock sets up Burnside. A nice finish by Brooklyn Burnside. Again, a good setup by Hammock and a good finish by Burnside. Lady Cats trail 17-16. Hammock with a serve. Hit by Raines. There's a second shot, and over it goes. Hit by Sadie Washburn. High in the air, and Kate Womack tried to finish and hit it into the net. Raines leads 18-16. Boy, we're on the verge of seeing a 5-setter here. Raines has got some work to do, but they're getting there. Here's a serve on the way. That goes back across the line by Katrin Hoffman. Lady Cats back to within 18-17. And Brooklyn Burnside back to serve for the Lady Cats. And Brooklyn serve, a good one. There's the second Rains hit, and Craig hammers it over. It went off of Brooklyn Burnside, almost landed in bounds. Just missed. That may have, I'm not telling where it hit her, but it almost was an unbelievable. You know, somebody reached up to her face and said that was almost a face kill. But it did go out, and Rains leads 19-17. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs lead in sets 2-1, and we're in set 4. Back in a moment. Emory Rains leading in set 4, 19-17. Harley Crack is serving for the Rains team, and hit by Moya. Popped up in the air to Erica Van Bentham, who returns it. There's the second hit, and over it goes. And once again, it looked like a miss hit, but it went right into an open area. I think there was some intent on that. And Rains is now leading 20-17 in set 4. They're fixing to tie this thing up. Here's Crack's serve, hit by Moya. Popped up to the net and feathered over by Womack. Rains sets it up to the net and gets it across. Popped high in the air. Hammock sets it up. Erica Van Bentham. Rains keeps it alive. Returns it. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Hammock sets up Erica Van Bentham, and she got the kill. Went off of Rains' player. Rains still leads 20-18, and in to serve is Paris Pickett. And Paris with a serve, a good one. Hit by Macquarie and Crack, and then Terry's shot over the net, and the Lady Cats blocked it, but they blocked it out of bounds just barely. So Rains is now up 21-18, and Terry is back to serve for Rains. Gets it over, hit by Pickett. Hammock pops it up, Sadie Washburn, and Rains kept that alive. They get it over, but they hit across the back line. And again, the Lady Cats back to within 2, 21-19 with Kate Womack. Perhaps, I guess you would say she's the best server. She hits first. Oh, just across the top of the net. Rains keeps it alive over to McGinty, who hit it across the back line. She's had trouble clearing the net, so she tried to put a little more oomph in there, and that one went too far. Lady Cats trail by 1, 21-20. Kate Womack to serve. Gets it over, up toward the net, and over it goes, but across the back line. That time Crick set up a teammate, but it just cleared that back line, and we're tied at 21-21. Lady Cats have stormed back into a tie here, served by Womack. Here's Crick setting it up, and McGinty hit it, but across the back line. Now they're saying a Lady Cat deflection, and that is going to be the ruling, and that point's going to be turned around there. That call came from the official down on the floor. Of course, Rains was making that point. They certainly thought there was a deflection. Some of the officials did not see it, but Rains now leads 22-21. Moya digs the serve, set up to the net. Lady Cats get it across. Rains returns it, hit by Pickett, and Hammock will set it up and feathered over by Abram. And now across by, oh, they say that was in. My goodness, that looked wide from here, but again, they have a much better view down that line. And Rains is now up 21-23. And here's Macquarie's serve. It's dug by Paris Pickett. Oh, it went back across the net, but the Lady Cats survived that. Hammock will set it up to Sadie Washburn. She hammers away. Rains keeps it alive and returns it. Womack to Hammock and across by Sadie Washburn. Over by Rains, hit by Paris Pickett. Hammock sets it up, Sadie Washburn. She gets it across. Rains keeping it alive. Gets it back across. Pickett. Hammock pops it up to Sadie Washburn. Oh, a hammer job right down the line. That was equally as close as that one on the far side. And that also called in. And the Lady Cats trail by 1 now. 23-22, and Aaliyah Abram is now serving. Oh, Abram for the Lady Cats. Gets it over. Here's the second Rains hit, and over it goes. Aaliyah Popped high in the air to Sadie Washburn. Hits it off of range players, and then it was good anyway, but it didn't matter after the deflection. We're tied at 23-23. This has probably been the most exciting set that we've seen, right down to the wire here. A lot at stake for these teams in this match. Aaliyah Abram with a serve. Oh, it's wide and long and everything. And Raines 1 point away from set point. And a chance to tie it up 2-2, and into serve is Caitlin Brock. Timeout taken by Bailey Dorner. She wants to talk to the troops. Lady Cats leading 2-1, but Emory Raines is ahead in set 4, 24-23. We'll take a break, back in a moment. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs leading 2-1, but Emory Raines is on the verge of tying it up here as they lead this set 4, 24-23. Another serve coming from Caitlin Brock. She gets it over, dug by Womack. Hammock sets it up. Oh, a hammering finish by Sadie Washburn. Probably just the way that Bailey Dorner drew that up. And we're tied at 24. We were also tied at 23 and 21. So this has been tight for a while. Sadie Washburn to serve for the Lady Cats. He gets it over. Raines will pop it up, set up the net, and they got it across. Hit by Sadie Washburn. Hammock sets up Brooklyn Burnside, and she hit it off of a Raines player. Brooklyn has pretty good hops after she was so excited with that kill, and the Lady Cats are up 25-24. And they have not only set point, but also match point here. Another serve coming, Sadie Washburn. Sadie's serve on the way. There's the second Raines hit, and Crack gets it across. Washburn digs. It's set up to Erica Van Bentham, who feathers it over. Raines again sets up Crack. Her shot blocked, but the Lady Cats can't get to it. It went out of bounds. And we're tied at 25. I don't know if they're going to play 30 cap or not. Non-district, so maybe. We don't have to worry about that for a while. Here's McGinty's serve into the net. Oh, my. Lady Cats leading 26-25, and back with a chance for set and match point is Peyton Hammock. The setter for the Lady Cats. He gets it across. Is that tipped? No. It's long, and we're tied at 26. And now serving for Raines. This is going to be Katrin Hoffman. Gets it over. Hit by Leah Abram. Hammock sets up Brooklyn Burnside, and she finishes. That was a crossfire. I've talked about how that's a narrow shot, but Brooklyn Burnside got so high and dumped it on the court. The higher you get, the easier that shot becomes. 27-26, and Brooklyn Burnside now serving for set and match point for the Lady Cats. This is at least their third one. There's the second Raines hit, and feathered over. Oh, it didn't go over. And the Lady Cats have finally defeated Emory Raines, but this was a pretty contested match here tonight. I don't know how far Raines is away from district play. They may already be in it, depending on the size. We've just got such a small district. We've got a long way to go. They probably do, too, if they're playing a Tuesday night non-district game. But I'd say they look pretty ready, as they provided some good volleyball competition tonight for the Lady Cats, who had enough to win this one. And they win it by the score of 3-1. You know, I was going to talk about the JV contest. I never got around to that. Before we wrap up the varsity game, let me give you the JV scores. David Carrillo's JV beat Raines 2-0. And the scores in those were 25-16 and 25-9. Congratulations, Coach Carrillo. As holiday pay for Jared Hammock, is some of these teams do not have freshman teams. They've just got maybe JV and varsity. So Coach Hammock has had a couple of nights off. But he certainly, I mean, he did his part as a bench helper over there with Bailey Dorner. probably keeping some stats, doing all kinds of stuff. And the LadyCats win this one over Rains by the score of 3-1. LadyCats won the first set. It was 25-19. They won the second 25-20. Then things begin to get interesting. Rains won set 3, 25-17. And they had the LadyCats on the ropes at several points where they were up 23-21. The LadyCats were able to get back to 23-23, 24-24, 25-25, 26-26 before the LadyCats finally made the last 2 points and ended up winning 28-26 in that set 4 to get the victory. So the LadyCats will improve their record now to 17-9 with the win. And later this week on football night, for the Wildcats, the LadyCats will be busy over in Texarkana playing Pleasant Grove. And I remember this match from last year. It took place right before district play, and it took a tremendous amount of energy out of the LadyCats. For one thing, they had 2 matches scheduled that night. I think there was a scheduling snafu. And so the LadyCats didn't want to disappoint teams that had been expecting a match for a long time. And so they played them both. And they did defeat Pleasant Grove, but it was a 5-set knockdown dragout. LadyCats went into district play as a kind of a spent volleyball team. But that was then, this is now, and LadyCats will go over to Texarkana to play Pleasant Grove on Friday. Our next television game will be a week from tonight as Wiley East will be in the gym. A really good opponent and team that the LadyCats have had a lot of trouble with over the last few years. Ever since we met them in bi-district and we were heavy favorites to beat them, they had a less than 500 record and they played lights out. They really, really played like their volleyball lives depended on it. But that's going to wrap it up from here. LadyCats beat Emory Rains 3-1. And Doug, before we say I haven't done this in a while, James Terry back at the station, running the spots and keeping us on the air, doing all that good stuff, talking in my ear, mostly trying to keep me straight. That's a full-time job. Doug Haston shooting the video, and he will all put this all together and be available on YouTube for those that want to see it out there again, and it's worth watching again. I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play. Once again, our final score here from the main gym at Sulphur Springs High School. The LadyCats of Sulphur Springs 3 and the Emory Rains LadyCats 1. Thank you for joining us, and so long, everybody.
Thank you, Don. This is LadyCat Volleyball on KSST, 12:30 a.m. Sulphur Springs. Back to Good Time Oldies after this message.
It was an exciting game. We had some good moments. We had some great moments. We had some not so good moments. But Rains is a good team. I feel like every ball we sent over that I thought was going down, they somehow just got it up and got it back over. They're very scrappy.
Yeah, a good start by the LadyCats, win the first 2 sets. And then that third set just seemed like what could go wrong did.
We got a little complacent. We got a little relaxed. And Rains took advantage of it.
Yeah, it was beginning to look like a 5-setter, but the LadyCats kind of pull out of it. They were down 23-21, and then they got it back to 23-23, and then it was just back and forth.
I know, I'm proud of the fight they had at the end of that game. I just wish we could have that fight the whole game.
Anybody, obviously, you know, I guess the usual suspects. Sadie Washburn was wonderful tonight.
Sadie Washburn played great. We tried a different lineup tonight. People were playing in positions they're not normally playing in, but I think everybody kind of stepped up to the plate and did their job and did what we asked of them.
Yeah, you moved some people around. Did you like the result of that?
I like what I saw, but I feel like there's always room for improvement, so we can always keep changing things until we find the best fit for us.
All right. I kind of think about, you know, Erica Van Bentham had some good moments, Sadie Washburn, and again, Peyton Hammock, kind of her, you know, setting those things up. There's a lot of good moments.
Yeah, I got a team of great players. All the way around, I don't feel like there's a player who's weak. We're all pretty strong in our different areas, and I feel like we showed that at times tonight.
Have you had a chance to see any kind of stats whatsoever?
I have not. I haven't even looked at them yet.
I just saw Kate Womack walk by. I thought she had some good serving strings in there.
Yes, she did. She's been serving strong for us. We hope to just continue that, get it more consistent all the way around. I'd like for our girls to serve better. We missed too many serves tonight, too many free points for them, so I like to minimize those.
All right. Now you've got Pleasant Grove. We'll go over there to Texarkana on Friday. That was a knockdown drag out in this gym last year. It was a 5-setter, and it was on a night where 2 matches were scheduled. And we didn't have a lot in the tank after we finished in that. We did pick up the win, but if that's any indication, it's going to be something over there.
Pleasant Grove has a history of just being a volleyball school. They put together great teams, great power hitters, great back row people. So I think it'll be a good game, be a good challenge.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you so much.